What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Couch Consumer live stream. We've got a massive live stream for you today. It's going to be freaking awesome. First, we're going to be talking about the absurd amounts that games cost in this day and age, rivaling big budget blockbuster movies. That's absolutely insane. Next, we're going to be talking about Sony and the dramatic drop that they got in the stock market, and if the gaming industry is growing, and it is, like, why are we seeing their stock go down the way that it is? And then lastly, we're going to be talking about the overall health of the gaming industry. We're seeing mass layoffs across the industry, and we want to kind of take a figure of this stuff and ask why. Like, we don't have a perfect answer to this. There is no perfect answer, but we want to get as near to the target as possible. But before we introduce our panel today, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy the live streams, you enjoy the videos, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. It's the best thing you do for the channel. All right, let's introduce our panel today. All right, everybody's here. We got the whole family.
How's it going, everybody?
Right on. And so you and me, I mean, mine wasn't like a nightmare day, but you've had a rough week. You've had a rough week. So you're doing better now, right? Okay.
I'm just tired.
Right, yes. It's like, you tell me you stay up or you wake up early with your husband?
My son.
Oh, your son. Sorry. Right.
No,
okay. You're so you're up like at the crack of dawn, even before, to get your stuff taken care of.
And I stay up late because I've always had like insomnia and stuff. But
yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll sleep later when I'm gone, I guess.
That's what they say. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Rest is for the dead, they say. Yeah, we're alive and kicking, so we're gonna do the things while we're here. Right. Panda, how about you? How's work been going for you, and just life, I guess?
Not too bad. I mean, work could be going better, but it's work. So
yes.
that's least of my worries right now.
Right on.
So just hanging out with the kids, myself. It was a good day today, so I kind of was out and about.
Yeah.
Glad it was like a little afternoon stream. So
yes,
I got all my errands done for the day and just hung out with my kids. So.
Yeah, right on, man. Freaking.
Excellent.
I told you guys, freaking. But I woke up. She might have. I've seen memes about this, about where the husband he forgets and all this and all that. It's like, even when the wife has told him, it's like the day of. I was like, you didn't tell me that. It's like, literally, I feel like they are targeting me with those memes, because my wife might have told me about this yesterday, but so I told her, it's like, oh, we've got a 10 o'clock stream that we're gonna do, and she was like, I don't know if you'll have enough time. Just do it when we get back. I was like, why? What are we doing? It's like, well, we're going to, get pictures done. Yeah, it's freaking hilarious. Oh my goodness.
I always get I told you that I was coming over this weekend from my kid.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, are you sure? Like, and I agreed to this because he'll come over and he spends the night for like, if he gets here on Friday, like, and he's supposed to go home on Monday, somehow he ends up going home on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you sure? Did we really agree to? Did we really talk? Like, I need receipts.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, oh, Mom, I told you about the field trip we got to go on or whatever, and or the project we got to do, and it's due tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. It's like,
they say they tell you, but
yes,
technically they know you forget. So they're like, hey, Dad, remember this project that I was supposed to do that you never told me about?
Yeah.
I know. And my son's the worst because he knows I'll just agree to anything you say whenever.
Yeah.
I'm half sleep, he'll always come in and wake me up and like ask for things.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, "Oh, but you said," and I'm like,
I can't fact check you, so I'm just gonna have to take your word for it. Oh my god.
Now that he's 15, I said, "You cannot do this anymore. Like, you know what you're doing now. You understand. This is over." And he giggled at me when I said that the other day.
So like, he knows he's wrong. He knows he's been doing you wrong.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yes. He's doing me dirty. I'll wake up one day, there's gonna be like a peacock and a penguin and a lion in the backyard or something. It's like something crazy. Yep.
Mom, you told me I could get him. I told you I had an idea about starting a zoo, and you said it was okay. It's like, yeah, okay, bud.
I can see that happening. Yeah. Like, my daughter will probably be in on it.
Oh, that's just wrong. That's wrong. So we do have some comments already. We've got let me see, where am I? Oh, derp. Okay, so we got John DBZ in the chat and Lord Beerus in the chat. We're going to read our first article, and then we will definitely get to the comments.
We'll get to you guys.
My brain is scrambled eggs today. Seriously,
it's just been a long week.
It's so bad. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for agreeing to get on with this. I'm going through like an Alzheimer's type deal. I don't know what it is. I got I hit my head really hard or something like that and just crippled my short and long term memory.
Yeah. So. You're like that chick from 50 First Dates.
Yes.
You go to sleep, wake up, nothing's there.
Who are you? I'm your wife. No, you're not.
Don't you remember me?
All right. She hits him in the head.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to find the article. I think this was going to be okay. So what I wanted to talk about first is the absolute ridiculous amount that these games are costing nowadays. We know that Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg, he broke this story. I don't know if it was a leak or something like that, but anyway, we found out that Spider-Man 2 was upwards of $300 million to make. So, with that, we understand why, they are talking about bumping up their prices again to pay for how much money they sink into these games. But with all of that, it's just another nail in the coffin. Not coffin, but we can see why the game industry is in the situation or the that it is. It's like games are way too expensive to make. And that's contributing to why they're charging us more, and it might be contributing to why these layoffs are coming up. That's not the only reason. Me and you, gamer, have been talking about this offline a lot.
Yes.
But what I wanted to say is like, when did the budgets balloon to the 300 millions? Even Spider-Man 1 was 100 million to make, and then what do we got here? right, and it to me it feels like it's a self fulfilling prophecy. Is like it takes $300 million to make a game, so therefore you have to charge more. So if the budgets inflate some more, then they start bumping up the prices and things like that. So it's just a vicious circle that we're going through when it comes to us as gamers or consumers having to pay for these games. And then lastly, this is a really good one. How much does the length of a game factor into how much they charge? I was scrolling through Reddit and someone asked that exact question. And Robert Storms, I gotta shout him out. He is a huge advocate for shorter games now, because the long extended action sequences and the stories and things like that, as elaborate as they are, and we might love them, a shorter experience is keep it a nice tight 10-hour long game, and he's happy, and that way hopefully you can charge less, but do you think that the length of these games, they contribute to their prices being so high? You know,
I think so, because it's more that they've got to pay, the animators, the motion capture people,
very true,
and everything like that. I know that a lot of people were upset, like the RE2 and the RE3 remakes, about how they weren't bringing the original cast members back.
Yeah.
But it was cheaper for them to get new people.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to start seeing that a lot. I know with Tears of the Kingdom, it was $70, and there's never been like a $70 Nintendo game.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of uproar about, is this going to be normal that games are going to be $70 for the Switch now? And Nintendo had to come out and say, no, there's so much that went into this game.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I think $70 was kind of a steal for what you got in the game, because you had the original map from Breath of the Wild. And then you had these Sky Islands.
Yeah.
And then you've got the depths or whatever. So it's like essentially 3 different games.
Yeah.
Because you had so much that you had to do on each of those levels. And to me, I'm like, that made it extra fun. And then you've got all the side quests, which in a Zelda game can get ridiculous. But I mean, I've got 2 gameplays going, and I know I've got like at least 300 hours going, and I'm still like not even halfway done.
300 hours.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I like to wander around. I like to try to find everything and explore things and do it. Yeah, I've got to do the hardest possible ways. Like, let's go down this way. It'll take me an hour longer, but I'm gonna see everything in case there's something over here that was hidden.
Yeah. Is that the most you spent on the most time that you spent on a game? Because 300 hours is in excess. That's crazy. That's a lot.
No, I've spent a lot of time in, like, if I have an open world game, there's going to be an excessive amount of time on it. Like with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like, I loved it. And I've beaten it, but I've still got so much left to do.
Yeah.
And I have so many hours in it because I just kept exploring things.
Right.
And I'd be like, well, how far can I push this? Is this the end of the map? What?
That's so funny.
I usually end up having like a whole lot of hours on stuff like that, because I'm like, I gotta know, is there a secret?
Yeah.
Or can I go out in the water? Is it really the end of the map? Are you really gonna kill me and send me back?
You're right on. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, freaking I know that while looking this up, even back then, I want to say it was the mid 90s, whenever Jak and Daxter came out, even those games, some of those, I want to say it was the third one, was like $14 million. I had no idea it was that much. And I know they have their reasons for keeping the cost of their games under wraps. I totally get that. They don't want people to be like, well, what the heck, dude? Why are you spending so much?
Very much.
But what I would really like to see is them rein those kinds of costs in. That is unbelievable. Oh yeah. And then I
think the thing with that, I believe, is because the game just should be better, right? That's why they put so much money into it. I mean, I would say it would have started with like the Jak and Daxter games, right? It started off kind of, in general, platforming game, and then at the end it was like almost an open world game, right?
Yeah. So yes, it was.
I want to say the awesome. Funding and the amount of how much time and how much money they put into it should be on the work, right? I mean,
right.
We might talk about this later. I believe we will, but it's like all these AAA titles that are coming out that aren't hitting their level. Yeah, they look amazing, but story based, and the way it plays isn't on par for like you said, a $14 million game or a $20 million game. Call of Duty was on Xbox when it came out, and since then it's gone to almost looking like a movie, but then at the same time it's ranking in millions as it's spending millions. So
that's right.
There has to be like a point, right? You're spending that much money, you assume that you should get that money back. But are you making a quality game is the issue now.
Yeah.
Am I gonna spend $70 on a good game, or am I gonna get a game that's just trash and I'm only gonna play it for an hour and then
Suicide
get disappointed?
Squad.
You know what I mean?
Yes, it was gonna be a Suicide Squad.
Perfect example, right? You know,
Yeah.
these guys made Batman. They made all the Batman series, and
That's right.
they were expecting to have this like nice, you know, villains game, and then it comes out and it's like, oh man, this is not what we expected.
Yeah, because they were really successful with the Arkham series.
Yes.
Yep.
And then
Deservedly
they had
so.
fans. Yeah, but fans they had such high expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, the other one right now is Skull and Bones. I don't know if you guys have seen reviews on that one
yes.
yet, but
yeah,
that was not a good game to come out right now. Everybody was expecting kind of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag version of Skull and Bones, but it wasn't.
No,
they kind of dumbed it down and they got rid of a lot of the aspects that you did in Assassin's Creed, and that's why I love the pirate ship on Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because you get to roam around the island, you could roam and pillage ships, you know, and that was nothing compared to what came out. So.
Oh my gosh. And then the CEO came out and was like, oh, this is a quadruple A game. And I was like, hold on.
It's like, you're making it worse now. It's like all this money you're putting into a game that,
what are you saying? But yeah, no, it's definitely not a quadruple A game. It's a definite downgrade from Black Flag. You're not able to do the things that you could, you know, in a game that was what, 11 years ago or something like that. I was
gonna look up real quick. Let me see.
You know,
because it was a while ago and it was really good.
Yeah,
I think most people they wanted to capitalize off the fact that everybody loved Black Flag.
Yeah.
And then they're like, ooh, Skull and Bones. And then I saw something the other day and they're like, well, it's not Black Flag. And I'm like,
11 years. 2013.
Right on. Jeez, dude. And they dropped the ball. They fumbled it hard on that. And they want you to pay, you know, $70.
Yeah.
How much did it take to make that game? It was in production for like 9 years.
It was announced, I want to say, in 15.
Right on. See.
Well, my thing is, it's like you're spending that much money, and it's like basically bigger than a Hollywood movie.
Yes.
What is costing so much?
Right.
Like, because you've got developers in house. Like, how much are they making?
Yeah.
Well, how
that's true.
Would it have been bad if they used the same concept from Black Flag? You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
Save a little bit of money, just use that same. You know, get rid of the Assassin's Creed aspect and just go full pirate.
Yes.
You know, and
go full pirate.
You know what I mean? It's like the amount of money they put into this game that was announced in 2017, and it just came out now, and it was a letdown. It's like, oh man, like where did you guys go wrong on? You know,
that's hilarious.
The pirate aspect of Black Flag was just the side piece, right? It was the side missions to it, and it made the Assassin's Creed series better because that's what people wanted to do. They wanted to be pirates.
Right.
Yeah.
I think at this point I'd rather play what's that other one on Xbox? I already forgot the game. That pirate game on Xbox.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Let's see.
Right on.
We keep saying pirate, my mind goes Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know.
But what they're gonna run up to, we've talked about this time and time again, economics. They're going to be forced to slim down these costs for production. They're going to be forced to, because whenever you know they have to bump up their prices to meet what they'll need to get back to, you know, even break even, you know, let alone make a profit, that's going to get further and further away, you know, because the more that consumers have to pay, the more we're more likely to go somewhere else, you know.
I mean, because your game should be funding your company and your next big title, right?
Yeah.
If Grand Theft Auto 5 is making billions of dollars to fund Grand Theft Auto 6, just imagine they have the funding for the next 8-9 years now because of one game.
Yeah.
Not every AAA title needs to do that. They could stick down and like make one decent game that will fund them forever.
Yeah.
Instead of make 10 different games and hopefully one of them hits. But what they get out of the hole.
And what they have to remember is, gaming is a luxury item. It's not something that people need.
Yes.
The Hulus, the Disney Pluses, and things like that. They are luxury items, and whenever prices start soaring, those are the first things to go. So I think that what they really need to take a step back and realize is that we need to rein in our spending on these AAA games. We need to rein that in, whatever you have to do. So my problem is that we'll get to that later. I'll make that point whenever we get to it. But let's just say a lot of these CEOs probably shouldn't be getting paid the salaries that they do. You know what I mean? And I have nothing against CEOs. I want to see businesses thrive. I want to see competent people at the top doing good things and getting paid for their work, but at the same time, when
you're getting stupid money, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
You're laying off all these people, or especially nowadays, like nobody's making a livable wage right now. No, because everything is so expensive.
That's right.
And so
yeah.
I mean, you gotta cut it somewhere.
And hopefully they get their thumbs out of their buns so they won't start going under, because I don't want to see Sony go down. I don't want to see Xbox go down.
Yeah.
I want to see Embracer Group do good things because they have amazing IPs under their umbrella. You know what I mean? I want to see
that's the issue is you have these companies buying all these other companies that are going down, but what's the possibility that at the end of the day they lose everything because they bought so much that they couldn't handle?
Yeah. Let's get into the comments.
Talking to you, Microsoft.
And okay, just really quick. So Xbox is in the best possible position because Microsoft is worth like $3 trillion. So if they aren't making money, they are making money, but let's just say they make a bad decision and they fumble it and they are they need to build themselves out of a hole. Microsoft can bankroll them for forever. You know what I mean?
Much.
The Sonys don't have that. They're worth 150 billion. They're probably worth a little bit more now, but around 150 billion. That's not 3 trillion. You know what I mean? So if Sony botches something, they're screwed. they're screwed. Hardcore.
Very much so. Yeah.
But let's get to before we get to the comments, to anyone looking for Gamer and Panda, here are their socials. You can get a hold of them on their YouTube, their X account, and their Twitch. So definitely go out and show them some love. We've got Lord Beerus first and foremost. I thought. Oh, okay. So that's my bad. Uh-oh. People are upset in this house. Here. All right, there we go. Okay. Did that do it? No. Still didn't. Oh, there we go. Woo! I almost lost hope. Okay, so Lord Beerus, Fox, Panda, and was that a cat? Oh.
No, that was my child.
He's trying to defend himself already.
Yeah. He's like, no, it wasn't me.
He was. I hit mute pretty quick on that one.
Yeah. My son would do the exact same thing. Fox, Panda, and wait a second, is that Princess Zelda of Hyrule on panel with you? No, that's Gamer Geek Lounge. But honestly, I can't tell the difference between those two beautiful maidens. Oh, we got the heads up. Lord Beerus, we already knew this was coming.
We're getting ready
properly prepared. But that is a good one though. I love it. And I see you two go back and forth on Twitter. It's really funny.
Yeah. We're pretty hilarious.
Yes. All right, so the next comment we have from John DBZ. Something else to put on your list, Helldiver 2. We're not ready for so many people to play together, and Panda can help you with this chat. Yes, okay. So we were talking about this offline. How Helldivers 2, their servers cannot take the amount of people that absolutely love this game. I think I don't know if their concurrent players doubled, but it got up to like 400,000 or something like that.
I want to say it's up to 5 right now, and they got their servers decently working better now.
Right on. And so you saw an article that says Sony, Panda, would you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that they're recruiting the engineers now to help the servers. You were telling me about it, and I was like, it sounds about right. Like since last week, I was on queue for maybe 5 minutes at a time to try to get into a server, but now it's a lot more constant. So it seems like they're ramping up their server availability on it. So it's real good on that.
Yeah, which is good. I know that even the developers like kind of sent out like a PSA that said, you know, hey, maybe hold off on buying this because we're having some issues with the servers.
And that goes back to how you guys were talking about CEO having dumb money, which it was the CEO of Helldivers telling people like, maybe you should hold off until we get settled. And I mean, people, you know, have their ways. They're like, nah, we're still gonna get it. And at the same time, he's like, well, I'm just letting you know, you're giving us all these hates, and I'm just telling you, they're working as hard as they can, and I'm not gonna stand behind them and engineer the backseat of them and just let them work, which is a good way to respond, right? You don't want to push your workers to the edge of the brim and they're just gonna leave.
Right on. Yeah.
Okay. I know somebody that majored in network security and stuff like that. Like servers are a pain. They like the amount of work and like, I don't want to say programming, but you kind of do have to like program like as far as giving permissions and all this other stuff. I couldn't imagine like trying to work on something like a gaming server. I really could, because just like putting this stuff together for like corporate, it was just like, oh my gosh, like it was so much work. And then we were talking about, I talked to you offline about it, about business continuity. Like you're supposed to have a way, like a plan. Like if this bank of servers goes down, where's my backup coming from?
Right.
You know, and all this other stuff. And so I think that they're throwing so much money into these games that they're forgetting to plan for things like servers and work to be done, or opening another server bank and stuff like that. And we were talking about Pal World. It's like $500,000 a month or something ridiculous.
Yes, that's right.
To run their server. Yeah, and I'm just like, you know, that's not healthy for the business.
No, and I totally forgot. They kind of were in the same boat that Helldivers 2 is right now. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
I think it's just crazy that they weren't expecting this traffic. I mean, again, you know, the games in the last couple of years haven't been a real hitter. You know, it's all been hit or miss, right? You have, like we were talking about, triple, quadruple A titles that are doing well, and you got Helldivers, you know, that started off as a top table shooter game, right? That's how it was, and they branched out. You know, they shot in the dark, right? They went ahead and did a third-person, first-person shooter game, and you know they risked it. They risked everything for this game, and look what happened. You know,
they paid off
a lot of
big time.
Yeah, a lot, right? They put quality. They put their best people on it to make this $40 game that people are like. I mean, whoever has TikTok, Instagram, you've probably seen those reels that I've sent where people are making commercials on their own for Helldivers 2 that just want you to go get the game, and it's free advertisement, right? You know, you have all these guys playing the game, making it look cool. I stream it and it makes me feel like I'm in a movie most of the time, that I forget that I'm playing.
That's so dope. And that's great. That's how you know you got something. It's like people who don't mind putting in the legwork for you. You don't have to pay them. That's how you, when they do work for you, you don't have to pay. You know you got something.
That's why you don't see the commercials like you did back in the late 90s and early 2000s, how they used to have all those fantastic commercials, advertisements for the PlayStation and Xbox and this game and that game, and you'd see commercials, gaming commercials, almost constantly. And then now you don't. I mean, not just the DVR ruined everything in streaming and commercial-free ruined things, but you know, you've got so many gamers that are promoting your games. You've got all this other stuff, so it's like you're not spending money on marketing. So that's not the part that, you know, you're worried about, because you got everybody else doing it. You have to do some stuff, but I mean, you know, luckily for us, they don't have to pay marketing the way that they used to. Otherwise, we'd be paying like $150 a game.
Yes. Okay. Ridiculous. So another one from Lord Beers. She's up early like a true army soldier who is up at sunrise and salute the flag. Yes. What is it? Colors? Not colors.
Yeah, it's the colors. Well, colors if it's got the yellow like fringe around it.
Yeah. It's like because I remember they used to. What was it? I can't remember what it was, but you had to stop, face the flag, and salute until it went out.
I used to hate that. Like, I'd be driving home, and it would start playing. You'd be like, "Dang it!" And you see everybody getting out of their car and they're facing and saluting.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first got to Port Carson, I was like, "Which way do I look?" You know, because I didn't know where the flag was. And I was caught out in the middle of the day, and it went off, and I was like.
Right out, we got another from Lord Beers. I wonder if you three wise people will be discussing Nintendo Direct announcements this week. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been paying attention to Nintendo like at all. I saw a what was it? It was an article about Nintendo Switch Online surprises Mario fans with 8 free downloads. I did see that. That's about all I saw though. That is it.
I did watch the Nintendo Direct. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Right on.
I was most excited for the retro games that they announced on their Nintendo Online.
Gotcha.
But there were a couple ones, like there was a good cozy game called Endless Oceans, but I don't know how much gameplay you'll be able to get out of it.
Okay.
You're basically a diver, and it's supposed to be different every time you dive.
Oh, that's cool.
And then there's like 500 species that you can discover, and some of them they even put like endangered and mythical in there, and I was like, ooh, for that alone I just want to go. And
the Loch Ness Monster and all that good stuff. Come on.
Yeah, and you can meet up with like other people online, like up to 30 people, but you guys can share what you found. And I'm like, dude, I like that.
Yeah,
you know?
That's cool.
So I might actually end up getting that one. And then there's a couple other ones that were pretty good, but overall it wasn't anything like Xbox and PlayStation are putting on there. Like, it was just kind of, it was good. Yeah. But, you know, like I said, there were a couple games that I was interested in and a couple games that I was just like, why?
I see that the Epic Mickey looks like it's going to be remastered.
Yes.
The Epic
I forgot about that. Yeah, it's Epic Mickey.
Epic Mickey.
It used to be like, he got, I don't know whose room he got into, but he ends up going in there with a paintbrush and messing around and knocking things over, and then he gets sucked into this fantasy world, and he's got to like paint his way out. How would you describe it, Panda?
It's like it's like a drawing. I wouldn't say it's a drawing style game, but it's it would be almost like a Final Fantasy kind of fighting game, but he uses paintbrush strokes to attack.
Okay.
And this was, what was it on? It was on the on the Wii, right?
Yes,
when it came
I think
out?
so. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I can't believe I forgot about that.
That's kind of cool.
I'm extremely tired, but I'm like, I'm probably gonna pre-order that one.
I was gonna say, I believe when it came out back in the day, a lot of people were kind of like on the fence about it because it was a fighting-based like Mickey game, and they thought some of the monsters were gonna be like scary because they're like almost like ink blocks, right? Like they're drawn out like shadow, I believe it was. So people were kind of like, how's my kid gonna react with this if it's too scary?
Well, it was made for like not toddlers, you know. Like it was probably like a 10+ game.
Well, that's the issue, right? When you put Mickey on anything and it's a kid's game,
everybody's like, oh, my 2-year-old.
No, No,
But
I'm looking at it right now. It's not.
They've also got to gear it towards adults because, I mean, let's face it, we're playing these games too.
Right.
But yeah, it was good back then, and it looks
Yeah,
like
it was great back then.
Yeah, it looks like the remaster is gonna keep the same aspect of it kind of being, you know, the fighting based, you know, brushstrokes. Yeah, it looks about the same. So that's good. That's good that they're not really changing much of it, and that's good that they're keeping it like the same style.
Yeah.
Right on.
I don't want to know why you just left. What are you up to, Dark Fox?
Oh no, I see. I'm looking at the chat, and John DBZ, he throws one in there. That's a really good example. But
I saw it too. Yes.
Lord Beerus says hi, John. And then Lord Beerus says hi, John, and he also says, my opinion, these budgets balloon not because of the production costs. I think people are forging the costs to line their pockets and put the burden on the consumers, and then the grunts get the blame. We will most certainly get to thoughts on that, but you are, let's say you're speaking our language there, Lord Beers.
Well, yeah, okay, so let me add to that actually, because he might have a point there now that I think about it, because look at these movies that are made. Movies are still the same price. I mean, maybe the ticket prices have gone up slightly, but you don't see a $60 movie. It's still like $30 on Blu-ray. You know what I mean? So he does have a point where, you know, what was the last big hit? Oh man, there's a lot of big hits out there. I mean, Avatar being one of them, right?
Yeah.
It was all,
I want to say it was $1 billion to make Avatar like The Way of Water.
And it's all CGI.
Yeah.
You know, which is expensive.
Oh yeah.
And he is right. You know, it might be, you know, if these companies are trying to get more money out of it, then yeah, they're probably pushing it. But movies spend about the same, and they rely on ticket sales, right? They rely on, well, now streaming services, of course, but ticket sales was always the big thing, right? It's a $20 ticket to go see a movie, you know, that's going to be top notch, $1 billion made, and this and that. And you don't, I mean, there's companies out there that have gone down, but some of them don't make that whole profit. They sometimes even just make half of it.
Yeah, but I mean, the credits are getting a lot longer on some of these. But I've heard the argument being made that to strip some of these costs down is to get rid of people who actually don't do anything on set. You know what I mean? It's like
and that's the bad part too, right? They thin everything down, and
you got like the hair assistant.
Well, I mean,
yes,
the assistant like gets the assistant's coffee and the coffee for the assistant.
Yeah.
And it is crazy. I mean, my cousin worked in special effects for a while, and like we were talking about, you either couldn't get work, or like there were so many unnecessary people there, you know, doing certain things. And I'm talking about like 90s and maybe the early 2000s. I think he probably quit like around the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So I think the last one that I really remember they mentioned he worked on, I think, was Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And so like that was a long time ago.
Like with George Clooney.
Yeah. And so I mean, he was talking about how it was ridiculous back then. We've only gotten worse. We've gotten more bougie, you know. So, you know, that the hairstylist has an assistant who has an assistant who has an assistant who hired their nephew to come up and bring them bubblegum or something. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, it really does go like that. Like it does. You have people in it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think at this point it's just, you know, if it's a big company that has the money to spend and knows that it's not going to make most of it, you know what I mean? They're going to do it. I mean, you got YouTubers now making movies. I don't know if you guys are like big into YouTubers, but one of them being Markiplier, where he's making a film-based game, and he's already said that he's spent up to like the hundreds of thousands just on a film that was like 30 minutes, and he's still working on spending more of his own money, but that's his, you know, that's his dream, right? It's to make a film of a video game. So,
you know,
he's really popular. Yeah, he's really great, really popular. So, I mean, it sucks having to use your own money, but I think it'll pay off for him. But
well, the thing is, I listened to his podcast, and he has a hobby of collecting what is it, camera lenses, and he just bought a decent camera to film the movie.
That's crazy.
But everything that he's bought for this camera, just because he wants to be a collector of lenses, like old lenses, like old film lenses, and he says he spent over tens of thousands on some of these lenses that he'll just put it up for like a display, but he can still use them for this film. At the same time, so it's like, damn, yeah, if you have the heart to spend that money and you're not going to get most of it back, then yeah, go ahead and do it. But like Lord Beers was saying, is most of these people want to get all this money back. They want to make sure they're going to make the money and all the hard, I mean, not hard work, because most of these games, they probably could have been worked on a little more than they're saying they were.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly agree.
We'll get to it. Hold on, wait. Okay, so Lord Beers Gamer Geek has the Hyrule Wanderlust. Okay.
She does. What's wrong with her?
It's funny you talked about game costs. I heard a story a while back that Rare Software spent $1 million to make Donkey Kong Country 1 on the SNES.
Nintendo,
Right. From beginning to completed game. That's insane. $1 million. And on
that was a lot back then.
Yeah, back in the 90s, I believe it was, right?
So what I don't understand is, like, how come we're hearing about these ridiculous budgets now?
Well, that's the thing, is like, you're making a game that's going to sell, right? You're putting hard work into it.
Yeah.
I want to say these developers knew they had something, right?
They had
the ability to make a game. They had the ability to sell it.
Yeah.
The NES was just coming out, so of course they're gonna want a nice platform
give you
game
that one. Yeah.
that has to, rival Mario. And being Donkey Kong and Mario, of course you're gonna want both of them, right? You got Mario versus Donkey Kong back in the day, and now Donkey Kong has his own his standalone game. So of course they're gonna make it to where it's gonna be valued, right? People are gonna want it. They're gonna want to play it. Now
it was also a total revamp of Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
so it was kind of like a remake, a new pitch of like this is your new Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Well, because the whole story was Cranky Kong was the original Donkey Kong, right? That's what the lore is.
I remember from the movie. Yeah.
That's me, Cranky
Kong. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I love that movie, by the way. They had everybody from Donkey Kong.
They did so good on that movie.
Really good music too, man. Their playlist is pretty good.
They had the Donkey Kong song in there, right? The 64 one.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so.
When they announced Donkey Kong when he's about to fight Mario, they have him. They have it played in the background.
He's like,
no way!
I don't know if you can't believe you missed that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude!
It's like we're having a Mario watch party later.
Dude, that movie is awesome. I loved it. Absolutely loved it
too. Yes.
And I gotta give Chris credit.
It's going towards the people that want to see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You announced that we're gonna make movie-based games have not been on a roll, but
the original Mario that they put out.
Yeah,
John Leguizamo.
I kind of love that movie. That was a cool movie.
I really movie.
It's a cult classic and an acquired taste for sure.
Bro,
I enjoyed it, man. It was hilarious.
It's so bad, it's so good type thing. Is that what we're talking about?
I want to say the best part was the dancing elevator scene. Okay, where he moves one of them right side to side, and then they all start to dance together. That was the best one.
I do remember that. My gosh, dude, that story was
gonna
so
be our
F,
that's gonna
dude.
be our next live streams are gonna be reaction videos to old 80 videos.
We should definitely do that. That would be hilarious.
I really think we should.
And Mario is first up because
I was gonna say.
Oh my gosh, dude.
We'll do old versus new.
Yeah. New wins, hands down.
Going back to what I was saying, back in the day, they knew they had a category of people that they wanted to sell to.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say back then, money wasn't an issue, right? You have Nintendo trying to be the best console out there because what was it? It was Nintendo and Sega, and slowly being PC games as well. But try to. I guess it's the whole console wars again. Trying to be the best, you got to put more money into your game.
Yeah, it started with the Atari. I want to say Nintendo was the one that kind of knocked them off. So we've had console wars going back into the freaking 70s, the 80s.
Yeah, I was gonna say 60s, 70s.
You know, so it's like nothing's really changed. You know, everything is, you know, it's like the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's just, you know, it seems like that's true. You know.
Yeah. Well, Nintendo gets to make that stupid money because they have so much merchandising.
That's true.
And
they won't let anybody touch it either.
Yeah, and their licensing and everything like that. But
holy moly.
I mean, like, think about it. Like, they have like boys' underwear, boys' box briefs, you know, girls' t-shirts, you know, pajamas, and like, I mean,
plushies.
I think I have like 3 pairs of Mario pants,
there you
suit
go,
pants and stuff like that.
Yes,
and that's another
little
thing.
Bowser's over there sitting.
That's another a thing they go off of is if it sells, right?
Yeah,
they can make product out of it. I've heard that Nickelodeon is real bad about that. Is they'll pitch an idea for a show, and if it doesn't sell in merchandise, they cancel it after the first season.
100%.
Wow.
That freaking Thundercats, all the old 80s cartoons, notorious for that. Transformers, Thundercats,
yeah,
freaking
like,
He-Man.
Like He-Man, He-Man came out solely to sell the toys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which I have a lot of He-Man stuff, so I'm down for that.
Right.
You know? Like,
I
had an older brother, so that was what was cool.
I haven't watched the Revelations. I haven't watched it, but the figures they have are freaking awesome. They look so good. He-Man has never looked better as far as the action figures go. You know?
I've got He-Man and Battle Cat, and then
there you go.
Skeletor. Yeah, they're all on my, like, I have a cube shelf that sits under my TV in my room.
Yeah,
so they're all positioned up there.
That's
I was
dope.
gonna say, not to burst any bubbles, but I heard that Fortnite might be bringing those characters to Fortnite as well.
Right on.
Say what?
I'm still not gonna play though.
I don't play it, but I'll watch every once in a while.
They're planning on getting He-Man, and I believe the next one is Power Rangers.
It's like, if you couldn't get me with Ninja Turtles, you're not gonna get me.
Right.
Man, you're missing out. The Ninja Turtles look sick.
They
That's
do
all
look
I gotta
sick.
say.
Dude, okay. I said
they didn't get me with Leon and, like, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't get me with the Resident Evil characters.
It's
and
like,
my son tried.
Yeah.
He's like, Mom, look, it's Claire, it's Leon, it's Ada, and I'm just like, yeah, let's go. I'll watch you.
Yeah. It's like,
they didn't get me with the lightsabers, so
yeah. Cause in Ahsoka, she's on there too, isn't she?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. But like, the Ninja Turtles, they look so good on Fortnite. How come we can't get a movie to make them look that way?
Right?
How come?
There was another thing that they were talking about, how back then when they put Spider-Man, how they were saying, how come Fortnite's physics of Spider-Man is way better than other standalone games that I've tried. And they weren't like talking about Sony, but they were saying that the Sony Spider-Man physics matched almost exactly like the ones in Fortnite. That Fortnite put so much work into their web slinging that people were like, damn, you know, they worked that hard to put the animation on a swinging, you know, just, you know, because it wasn't Spider-Man. You could get the item dropped at Fortnite, so any of your characters can look like Spider-Man swinging up in the air.
That's hilarious. Right on.
I don't know. Maybe people need to start partnering with Epic and outsourcing.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 more comments. We'll get through these real quick. Lord Beerus, I'm thinking at this point the game companies one day will probably take a game and split it into multiple parts and still charge a fortune for each part to get more money out of people. Yeah, like how they do with the Lord of the Rings. What's the one that what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence is in that one.
The Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games, they did that. Some of those
it'll be like Harry Potter where you get 8.
Yes. Or Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit or whatever. Or the one that they did after that. It's like
yeah.
It's like, oh, it was a pamphlet and they made it into a full-fledged movie. It's like, dude, why would you do that? Oh my gosh. The Rings of Power, the Addendums. It's like they made it into a full-fledged movie. It's like, dude, you gotta stop. This isn't going to work out well for you. John DBZ, with paying a lot of money to make games, I would understand with things like the new Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and the Elder Ring update, because that's hard work. But when you see other type games that look bad, this is true. Oh, and this is John DBZ with example Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
Gollum.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh
that game got trashed.
Yes. Oh yeah. It was horrible. It looked bad. And did you guys see that King Kong one they came out with?
Oh man, that one's even. Oh
my gosh.
Oh,
how did that even get put out?
It shouldn't have.
I would have played old Xbox 360 King Kong. I don't know if you guys ever played that one.
No.
Oh my! That one made me want an Xbox 360. Was that King Kong game? That one you should look up gameplay too, because that one was a great game when it came out. Movie-based tie-in to the King Kong movie that had Jack Black in it.
Yeah. Oh.
And
okay.
That gameplay was amazing because you would fight the dinosaurs, because he was fighting dinosaurs on Kong Island.
Yes.
And oh man, you just need to watch the
dude. It even looks better.
I know. Yeah, I know my brother played that. Well, yeah, and then I had a friend that had twins, and they would play that, and I would always watch them play. So.
Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, you could be like King Kong, and then you could be the camera crew, right? Because it was Jack Black and his camera crew trying to find King Kong, and they were shooting in it too. So you could like go out and shoot the little raptors, and after that you become King Kong and try to escape the island because they're trying to find you. And it was a whole it was crazy. It was like the first way to announce how Xbox would run on like the graphics that it showed. Because it was I think it was Universal that made the game as well, like WB with their games as well. So it was one of those like movie-based tie-on games for an Xbox.
those are those are hit or miss for me. Let's see, Lord Beerus Fox, I sent you a DM showing you everything that was announced at the Nintendo Direct showcase this week. Very cool. We'll take a look at that probably at the tail end of the live stream. Lord Beerus, again, thank you, Panda, for that support with my opinion. Very cool. John DBZ, UK tickets for theaters are only $4, so £4. £4, yeah. So super cheap here. That's awesome. Holy crap.
Yeah, I want to say a ticket.
Okay, no problem. We'll just go to UK.
Yeah, I know, right?
I want to say a movie ticket just for afternoon, like after like
a matinee.
A matinee I think is like $6, but after that it's like $12-13.
Yes.
And then if you want popcorn and soda, you're already spending $60.
Yeah.
I know it's about $60 for me just to get tickets and everything and a drink and popcorn for us to share. So
yep. And
I don't have anybody under 10 anymore, so it's not like I get the youth
right on
tickets, so.
But like whenever we go, we'd have to get like 2 or 3 like big popcorns, 3 big drinks, and then not to mention the ticket. So it's like, it's crazy. We haven't been to the movies as a family in a long time, just because it's so expensive. If I see a movie that I can't miss, I'll just kind of sneak away and go by myself, which my wife hates. But that's how I be rolling. I'm telling you, this is another one from Lord Beerus. I'm telling you, go back to the 90s Rubber Suits TMNT. Okay, I'll finish. That's what the fans want, not the stuff they've been putting out lately. Lord Beerus, I 100% agree with you. Okay, they'll need a little bit of CGI because I want them to not have like the weird animatronic stuff going on. You know what I mean?
What is it? The Canadian mouth South Park movement.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. I'm not your friend, guy, but yes, I would. But
those
love
90s turtle movies were great.
They were amazing. The second one is my favorite, but it had the weakest narrative and like some of the weakest writing too. Not like weak, like it was bad, but between the first one and the second one had the weaker of the writing. I thought the first one had better writing, better story, and the second one was like updated. It looked better, in my opinion.
I think the second one was where they're trying to bring in like different turtles that just didn't like go on with this, the lore of the Ninja Turtles. I think they had the female turtle that came out as well on the second one, right?
I want to say the first female turtle that I saw was during the there was a series, a show that came out, and they brought in a female turtle, and they looked really good then too. But like, in the second one, they had Razor. They had the snapping turtle and the wolf that they mutated.
Yeah.
And then
which
Shredder.
is funny because in the Nickelodeon adaptation of the Ninja Turtles, they have Snapper too. That's what his name is, right? It's the little snapping turtle that mutates. And who is it? Is it Ralph? Is the one who befriends him because Ralph is being tough. So
no, you're talking about, oh gosh, I know exactly. It's Slash.
I think you're right. I don't know. My daughter knows more than me, but she's always talking about. Let me.
But yeah, he's a pet turtle. He's Raph's pet turtle.
He was. Yes, Slash. You're right.
Slash. There you go. Yeah. Right on. Yes. He was cool. In 2012, Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon's peak. That's the best one. Not sorry on that one.
Is that the 3D, the 3D one, right?
Yeah. When Donatello is like in love with April O'Neil.
Yes, that's my daughter's favorite one.
Right on. Leo is still my favorite. He'll continue, but I have a lot of love for Mikey because he's the most naturally gifted of the four, but he's just lazy. He just wants to do his own thing, and chill. And
he's a joker.
Yeah. That's his deal. I love him for that.
That was the whole setup for the Last Ronin, was the Nickelodeon aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I want to say Peter Eastman came out and said that they chose Mikey just because it seemed like a good fit. The underdog. Mikey's considered the underdog. Yeah. And I don't consider Mikey to be the underdog. I think he's a really gifted fighter.
I think he's just overlooked because he's such a goofball.
Yeah, yes. He's so unserious. So they don't take him
serious.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's perfect for, especially fighting and stuff like that. Like, I think that's what probably makes him basically the best because he's not taking anything too seriously. Right,
100%. Let's get into our second story. We're going to be looking at PS5 and how their stock price, or their stocks plunged like $10 billion because they missed their projections for their PS5 sales. So I want to say they were supposed to hit 25, and they reeled that into about 20 million units sold. And so let's see. And I wanted to talk about what they could do to kind of bring their, the love and the excitement back to PS5. Because, what are they going to do going forward? It feels like Xbox is on the cusp of pushing the gaming industry into uncharted territory, which is really exciting, And Sony is kind of staying back into, in the pocket of what feels safe, you know what I mean? And just like when the brick and mortar stores who refuse to put their businesses online, I feel like it's going to leave them behind. So what I would like to see is them innovate, put their games on more consoles, so bring in more players. But we do actually have an article that I wanted to read through real quick. I do not have anything highlighted on this, but it is a short article. I'll just read through it really, really quickly. So we've got Sony plunged 10 billion after its PS5 sales cut, but a bigger issue is its near decade low game margins. That is hold on, I do have it highlighted. I thought I did. Anyway, okay. Around $10 billion of value was wiped off of Sony's stock last week after the Japanese tech giant cut its sales forecast for its flagship PlayStation 5 console for the fiscal year. Analysts who already thought Sony's PS5 target was too lofty told CNBC a bigger issue for the company are its declining margins in its key gaming business. So, and this is by Arjun Karpal over at CNBC. Where I really like is where he talks about how great their sales are. So their revenue on digital sales, add-on content, digital downloads are at an all-time highs, and yet their margins are at decade lows. This is just not acceptable. Goyle is a financial analyst, I want to say. Goyle qualified that current margins for Sony's gaming business is almost near decade lows. The analysts questioned how, with all of those higher margin products, the gaming division's operating margins has remained so depressed. Sertan Toto, CEO and founder of Tokyo-based games consultancy Canton Games, said he believed hardware production costs have actually come down since the PlayStation 5 is more than 3 years old, and Sony would have better economies of scale by this time. Toto said that part of the reason why margins are being squeezed more recently is that software production costs have been rising. Spider-Man 2, which came out last year and is produced by Sony-owned Insomniac Games, cost around $300 million to make, according to gaming website Kotaku, citing an internal presentation that was leaked after a ransomware group hacked the company. So these budgets seem to have a significant impact on their gaming margin over time. So that is one. And I want to say, what did Toto say? Okay, so I want to say they cited more than just the cost of the games, but I cannot find where it was.
You're just
You can see this screen, can't you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. But people have been running away from Sony, like it's going out of style, dropping $10 billion. I checked their stocks too, and like it was like the day after they had that earnings call, it freaking went
so that everybody tries
down.
to talk and run. They don't everybody panics with the stock market, or like that kid that was tweeting and made GameStop's stocks blow up. You know what I mean? Like everybody, the chatter is what messes with the stock market. And the thing is that, okay, until almost 2 years ago, you couldn't really, 2 years it went by, that you could hardly get a PlayStation 5.
Yes.
There was a problem with production, I guess it was the chips or something like that. Well, now they're not having production problems. Now they're able to have them on shelves in stores. But the price has dropped, either not at all or maybe by $50. But, economics, the way that works is, the more supply you have, the less your cost is.
Right.
And they haven't done a major price cut yet. And I think that they would sell more if they went ahead and did that, especially because it's hard times right now. There's been inflation everywhere.
Yeah.
I know for me, there's many games that I haven't been able to buy recently because it's just too expensive for me. I have a 15-year-old, he eats everything, and I got the animals and everything else, and it's just, it's so expensive right now. So I think it's, gaming is, for me, it's mental health. For me, it's entertainment. It's something that I love. I grew up gaming, and so it's something I'm always going to try to prioritize.
Yeah.
But not many people can justify that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he needs to think about that too. And then I think the problem with not just the console companies, but the gaming companies themselves is they saw the surges in gaming between 2020 in 2022, but the later part of 2022, everybody started pushing to go back to work.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you didn't have just the ability to take an entire lunch break to go play a video game,
Yeah.
you know, anymore and stuff like that. So going back to office commute times, work being more demanding because I'm sorry, at the beginning of the pandemic, nobody knew what they were doing, so nobody worked a whole lot, you know.
Oh yeah.
And so you relied more heavily on games, and I think that they took all of those numbers and they were like, well, it's going to stay this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they kind of, you know, messed themselves over, and now we're all kind of paying the price for it.
Right on. It's we're up to like 2 like red flags for them, right? So we've got their games being absurdly expensive. We've got that to make. We've got that. So that is reducing their margins for their gaming division. You know, if you put more money into it, you have to put the sales up. Like, I want to say Alan Wake 2 cost $75 million to make. And they sold like 1.3 million, which I think that was that was their whatchamacallit. I can't.
Well, like, even with the Panda, like, think about it. Skull and Bones was supposed to be real big.
Right.
Everybody hates it. You know?
So like Skull and Bones won't. Skull and Bones won't make their money back.
No.
But
I think they're putting, like, they're like, oh, this is gonna be great, and they're not testing. Like, I feel like even screen testing used to be a thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, there's no like control groups or testing groups anymore to get input on games and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what you have to look at also, is what divisions they're going into, right? Like, how much is Sony into the Ubisoft division, right? Because if they were expecting Skull and Bones to make their money back, then you would see a bigger margin towards, like, Sony's on the Ubisoft boat, but I never heard anything about them, you know, like, being even close to Ubisoft. So who knows? Maybe they even knew that Skull and Bones wasn't going to be a good game, so they did decide to go all out with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're spending so much money on these games that just they come out and they disappoint.
Yeah.
And I think that's a major problem that they're having.
Right. And so, okay. So what I was going to say is, if, like, let's say, you know, Alan Wake didn't make its money back, that means that they've lost a bunch of money on making that game. So, you know, that means going forward, they don't have enough money to put that, you know, decreases their margins for their gaming divisions. So we've got the massive amount. So you have a small room for error whenever it comes to making money. So if you don't get your projections, you break even or don't make your money back or something like that, your margins, you know, you keep doing that, you're gonna run out of money. You know what I mean? So they need to rein in these costs for these games, and take a little bit of emphasis off of the shareholders, because I think that's another place where they're getting really screwed over. You know, because they need to make it look like they make a profit, or, you know, they get less money invested, and then less money invested shrinks your company. Not a lot of investment money coming in. It's
a vicious cycle.
Right. So we'll get more into that whenever we talk about this third story. But let's get a look at the comments real quick, because I know that John DBZ and Panda and Lord Beers have been going at it.
I'm sure.
Okay, where are we here? Okay. So we got Lord Beerus. The second one was supposed to be about Ultrons, but Ultrums, but got cut for unknown reasons.
Ninja Turtles, I'm assuming.
Ultra. Goodness gracious. I feel like I'm spelling that wrong too. Oh. Utrum? Ultram? And he looks like a Krang. So you guys can't see this, but he looks like a Krang. Maybe that's, see, okay, now you're getting me, buddy. You're getting me. Okay. Lord Beer's TMNT Next Mutation, it was produced by the MMPR company. Okay. Is that what you were talking about with the Utrum? Or, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce
Lord
it.
Beer's just knows all sorts of things.
Yeah, he's like plugged in. John DBZ, I think Geek is moving to my town in the UK. Movies, kids are free. Oh, dude.
All right, man, I'm coming. I've always wanted to live in the UK anyway. We'll talk later.
Lord Beer says, Raphael team represent. Thank you. He's one of those, he reminds me a lot of Vegeta. He's got a temper, but you love him anyway. You know what I mean? So, but I am Team Leonardo. That's me. John DBZ, I'd see you next time, Beerus, and have a great day for the team. Really late here, so gotta go. Take it easy, John. It's been awesome, dude. And then Lord Beerus, take care, John, and stay retro. 100%. I love it.
I like that. That should be your new slogan on your channel.
Stay retro.
Stay retro.
So the last one we're going to talk about, and this hopefully brings it full circle, is the Embrace the CEO and how massive amounts of layoffs are happening, you know, in Embracer specifically. And so what I wanted to tackle with him was the timeline when everything really kind of got out of whack for the game industry. So it's still growing. The game industry is growing without a doubt. I want to say by 2026, we talked about it's supposed to be at $382 billion, supposed to be at a worldwide worth of $382 billion. So it's growing from 286. It's growing still. But why are we having all these layoffs? You know, say they're making money hand over fist. Why the layoffs? Why are we why does it feel like we're shrinking in the game industry? You know,
even though there's growth, it looks like we're shrinking,
right?
Because of the stuff that they're doing. Yeah. I know when you and I spoke this week, it was like Embracer, they were talking about they'd overinvested in the gaming side. And so, I mean, I can see that. Like, you've got your Skull and Bones. They put a huge amount of money into it, and it didn't work out. Gollum didn't work out. So I can see that. But again, like I said, it's going back to that COVID mindset where you think you're going to sustain this. Well, it's not. The world is changing, not necessarily back, but it's changing because we've got bigger expenses, like a gallon of milk. You know, I went to the store yesterday, and a gallon of True New chocolate milk was $6.
Yeah,
I can't have my chalky milk. It's rude, you know. So, so you know, we don't have the money to spend on games like they were before. So they're throwing all these. The way that I think from the Embracer article, as well as some other articles I'm reading, is they decided to hire all these devs and throw all this money into all this stuff, and now they can't make the games that they wanted to, or pay the people the way they wanted to, or whatever. So now they're having to cut them off, even though the game industry is growing. It's in a way at a standstill as far as I think the games go, because they can't make what they wanted to make because they're not getting the capital, I guess. I don't know. It's just really weird the way that the Embracer CEO put it.
Right. And it's a couple of things for me. The reason why I wanted to use Embracer for this is because they were especially egregious when it came to gobbling up studios and then not having money on hand whenever the tab came to pay. And so they were relying on, I want to say Savvy Games or Savvy Studios or something like that. It was I was gonna say Arabian, but I can't remember where they're based, but they were gonna give them $2 billion. That deal fell through, and now they have to go through and lay off all these devs and get rid of all these studios. So my thing with Embracer, it wasn't the devs that made those decisions to start gobbling up all of these studios. It wasn't the devs, but the devs are the ones that are paying the price for this. And so whenever we talked at the top of this about CEOs being competent and things like that, that's what I was referring to. So I think that him and specifically should probably see his pay reduced, and pay the devs something. Don't get rid of them. In my tinfoil hat says that it was they kind of did this from the beginning. They had a captive audience. They saw this money. They hired all these people, and then the revenue that they got from having a captive audience is theirs. It's a big chunk, and then the money that they get from letting all of these devs go goes right into their bottom line too. So it looks like they're still making a massive amount of money. You know what I mean? So that's my tinfoil hat. I think at some level it was planned. You know what I mean? I hate to say it like that, but I think at some level it was planned out that they were gonna hire all these people and then let them go, and whatever money they were going to pay the devs, they put back into their bottom line. You know what I mean?
They probably did. Yeah. But I know with Embracer, they were just like, let's spend all this money that we don't actually have because someone just said word of mouth.
Yeah.
We'll do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they started doing all these investments and all this development and all this other stuff. Well, you can't, that's not smart business. Who are you?
Right.
Yes. And it might be that Embracer needs a new CEO or a new chief financial officer or something. Things are getting crazy.
Yeah. What's funny is I watched they were doing a presentation and the CEO, especially their mobile division, is doing very, very well. That I want to say that's the part that's making all of their money. And mobile is a big market, so that makes sense. But their restructuring program is working because they are starting to make money in gaming consoles again. Gaming, or how did he put it? In their console division, they're starting to make a little bit of money. So their restructuring is working. Wouldn't have to do it if they would have just planned ahead for this, known that this wasn't going to last forever, because how could it? And the money that they saw during that influx of money, influx of people that were buying consoles and buying games, that was going to go away as soon as people were able to go outside again. They're not, there's no way they couldn't have known that. So that's why I have the tinfoil hat for it's like kind of trying to think this stuff through.
You've got forecasters. That's literally their job. The chief financial officer, that's their job, to make projections, to make predictions, to plan things out. Did you not take economics? Did they just decide that they were going to take a shoe salesman and make them the chief financial officer? Like what happened here? Like I'm not in accounting or finance in any way, but I still remember what I was taught in economics.
And I only got as far as economics 101.
So, I did 101 and 102, and even I'm going, what are these choices being made?
They're not good ones.
This is not what they taught us, like as far as business and finance and all this other stuff. So
that's why
I think there's a lot of irresponsibility going on in the gaming industry over the past several years. So.
And I mean, it's not relegated to the gaming industry. The movie industry is going through the exact same thing. you know, freaking Disney decided to create Disney Plus at the height of the pandemic, and they're still not making money on that. So it's like,
well,
I'm not gonna lie, that was a pretty good idea to do that, but it's like you gotta have good products too, you know?
Yeah. Well, I know for like my brother called and was like, "Do you have Disney Plus still? Because if not, we got it with our internet now."
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, I have HBO Max through my internet, and then like my ex, like with my son's phone, he's got Disney Plus because it's through the phone company. So it's like, how much money are you making by getting these packages included in these cell phone plans or TV plans or cable plans and stuff?
Yeah.
It can't be the same amount as if you had subscribers.
Right on.
So, I mean, Disney can afford to lose money because they've got that stupid money.
Yeah.
You know? They're that old money. You know?
Right on.
So I guess they can kind of afford that, but they look at how much they're putting into it though. Like, did you watch Percy Jackson?
No,
like,
I don't have Disney Plus.
Well, that was wicked. They did so good with that, and I know they spent a lot to make those 8 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, and so you've got to look at, you know, they might not be making money, but they've got this revenue over here, this revenue over here, and I think that they're probably a little smarter about how to shuffle things around. Oh
yeah. Oh, because I want to say their main moneymaker are the parks. You know, it's like a lot of the stuff that they do is to get people to go to the parks. The you know, the how they take their movies and make them attractions at the parks is to get people to the parks, and that's where they make a lot of their money. But at some point, that's going to come to an end if your movies aren't making the money back, their budget's back. If
it's the
you
whole
know,
aspect, right? If it sells, it's going to make money no matter what. So
yeah,
that's the hard part, right? You can make a bad movie, but if the toys sell, it's going to be the best movie you ever made.
That's true. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. Well, like who? Because they're making a Toy Story 5. Are you guys going to see it?
I didn't even know.
I don't know. I'm not a big theater person anyway.
Right on.
Like, I have really bad social anxiety, so I don't like to go out to do stuff like that. But it would definitely be one of those. I'll probably rent it, like do the at-home rental before it comes to Disney Plus or something like that, because I'll want to see it.
Okay.
You know, and I hope it's good.
You have Disney Plus though, right?
I do, yeah.
Let's say you didn't have Disney Plus. Knowing that they have Toy Story 5 coming out, would that make you want to get a subscription?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, my thing is like, again, what do I have money for?
Right, and yes, so like with all of these subscription services, luxury items, whenever money starts to get tight, you have to tighten your belt. Those things are going to be the first ones to go, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, they're wrestling with getting good content on their platforms to make people want to spend their money or not cut them when times get hard. So for me, I think they wrapped up so good with Toy Story 3 that I don't need, you know, a Toy Story 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd like them to expand on their, you know, Buzz and Woody. Like if they came out a Woody movie, you know, like it was based in real life or whatever.
Like Buzz Lightyear.
Right. I'd probably go see that.
Yeah.
But, you know, just using these old IPs to try to keep milking for money, for me, that's not going to work because I'm not going to see Toy Story 5. And I have no desire to get Disney Plus because of it.
I mean, that's the whole Gears of War aspect, right? And Halo and all that. It's as long as it makes the money, they're going to keep making it.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to say that's like a good example is Despicable Me 4, right? They just announced it.
Yes.
But
I was like,
Kung Fu Panda's coming out too.
Another one?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's the fourth one. 4.
But Yeah.
Despicable Me wasn't planned because Steve Carell said that he was only going to make 3 of them.
Yeah.
And he's in the 4th one. So it's like, did they like, hey, we're going to give you this lump of money if you want to come back?
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why they made the Minions movie, because he wasn't in it anymore. And they kept saying, like, is he going to come back for a role on Minions? And they're like, no, he's done.
Yeah.
His contract is over. He said that if he wants to come back, he can. But, you know, as of right now, we're done with the Despicable Me. And then a month ago, I heard that they're announcing it. And it's like, wait a minute, you know, is it because, you know, money's coming in, or is it because they really want to make a 4th one?
Yeah.
I was a little confused when I saw it too, because I thought they were over.
Yeah, right.
I really did get excited because I do love the Despicable Me movies. I'm more likely to go see that than Toy Story.
But then again, you know, maybe that was part of the plan, right? Is say the series was over, and then like, hey, guess what? We still made one more. Here it is.
That's true. Because I mean, think about it. Like, nobody wants to go see Pirates of the Caribbean anymore. But I guarantee you, if they said Johnny Depp came back, everybody would.
Oh, I would go
100%.
See it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I love me some Johnny. Don't get me started.
But I mean, the ones that you're in are good movies. It's whenever you start having diminishing returns, you know what I mean? Like the quality, the story, the writing, and all that good stuff, and you feel like it's not as good. I'm not going to go see it. I'm not going to go see that movie. Same thing for games too. Yeah. Like if I felt like that Metal Gear Solid didn't have any more story to tell, which I think it does. I think it has a lot more story to tell. I wish they would make more. But let's just I felt like they've reached the end. The story, you know, that last story, it kind of wrapped up pretty good. I might, you know, have second thoughts when they come out with the Metal Gear Solid 6 or something like that. You know what I mean? If they didn't have another story to tell. And that's another aspect of this that gaming movies, they have to keep in mind whenever they, you know, decide to make the budget $300 million. You know, it's like, are we really going to make this back? Is the story strong enough to get people out and talking about it and wanting to come out to theaters, or, you know, buy it digitally or go out and buy it off the shelves? I don't think they are doing that. I think that they think that they can do whatever they want and people are just going to pay. And, you know, I think people are getting tired of it. And this is probably the best time for them to get their crap together, because they're seeing people with less disposable income picking and choosing what games they're interested in. And so this is a good time for them to kind of buckle down, get some good writers, get some good devs, and make a good game. And people will buy it. I mean, you know, my limited money is going to go out to something good. If you make a really good game, I will buy it. You know. But what were you saying, Gamer? Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say you're absolutely right, because I mean, there's some games that I will absolutely pre-order or buy the day that they come out, because they've not disappointed me. I know they're gonna be great.
Yeah.
You know. But for the majority of stuff, I'm like, I might wait. I want to see some gameplay on this, or I want to see some actual gamer reviews, not just read what, you know, Game Informer or you know, whatever says. There are some games that I will absolutely, because I know that they're good. I'm sure you guys have games like that as well. But for the majority of games that come out, like I need some time, because I don't have money to just buy things. You know, and I think that's a lot of people nowadays. But as a disabled veteran, I definitely don't have the money to just buy whatever. So like I'll usually wait, you know, and I'm on day one when it releases, I'm paying attention, like what do the critics say, what do the, you know, but I'm more user gamer, you know, like what is this gamer that I follow on YouTube say?
100%.
You know, if I know that we have similar tastes in games, I'm gonna get with you and be like, hey Fox, you know, what's this? Or hey Panda. Even Lord Beerus, he knows my style of games and things I like, and he'll recommend stuff to me all the time. I trust that, because we know each other. We all have like similar tastes and stuff. But nowadays, I can't trust that you're going to put out a good game because like my older son was ready for Gollum, and then he was like, "This sucks." I was like, I'm sorry, like I felt so bad for him.
Oh my
gosh! I was like, eventually you'll learn.
Yeah, and that puts a bad taste in.
Yeah.
Sorry, Panda, go ahead.
Sorry about that. No, at this point, it's you're better off watching somebody that's not sponsored to make the video.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've been watching a lot of YouTubers that are just React channels, right? That they get the game like, hey, I'm gonna play this game. They're not sponsored by the company, and they give an honest input, right? They will tell you if it's bad or it's good, but if you pay a YouTuber such an amount of money, they're gonna only keep the good things about that game.
Yeah,
that's why it's better to make sure you're watching somebody that's not being paid to play it.
100%.
Yeah,
because that's already going to be on the top of somebody's mind. It's like, oh, they paid you to play this game or to speak, to play the game, to advertise the game. I'm automatically going to think that you are giving it a better judgment than it should have because you're getting paid to do it, so you feel the obligation not to trash it. You know what I mean?
I've got trust issues, so
all right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go. I'll be all over Reddit talk about where they've been lost.
We're gonna get through the last bit of comments. We were kind of all over the place on this one. I still think we had a really great discussion on on everything as a whole. We got into a little bit of everything, and I love that.
We did. I loved it, but we've all had like a hard week and a hard day and stuff like that, so we're a little scattered because we got thrown off our schedule. Yeah. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed.
Lord Beer says Utrums is how it's pronounced. It's basically the crane species. They were supposed to be in TMNT 2 movie. Oh, no way. The Next Mutation was the TV show you were talking about before. Yes. that introduced the female turtle.
Yeah, and you were right. It was a crane.
Yeah. I wish they would have I've got to read more of the comics. Right now, I'm still looking for the crossover between TMNT and the Power Rangers. I'm still looking for all of those. I want to say they've got 2 series out, and I've got 1 book of the second series. So I need all of the first, and then I need the rest of the second. It's weird. It's stupid. Anyway.
You know what's funny is Fortnite bases their releases off of comics. So depending if Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has a new comic coming out is why they're coming out with the skins to advertise from.
Oh my gosh, I gotta see
so don't be surprised if you see like a Fortnite character in the next issue of the comic book, because they do something like that.
They better not do that.
They did a whole
Fox is like, no.
They did a whole Batman universe with the Fortnite characters coming in and helping them out to try to stop the Bat who smiles, and it was like a real dark comic that they did for Fortnite, and it was like, oh man, that's something different.
Right on. I mean, as long as you keep it in Fortnite, I'm good. Don't get your Fortnite in my TMNT. It's like, don't get your chocolate in my peanut butter, dude. Don't do that.
You might have a Reese's cup by next week.
No, thank you. Nah.
I get what you're saying, Fox. I'm not saying.
Lord Beer says Professor Jordan Perry from TMNT 2 was supposed to be in Utrum at the end of the movie, which would have led into the 3rd movie involving the Krangs. The story got scrapped for unknown reasons. They should have stuck with that, because them going back in time with the 3rd movie, everyone hated that movie. Whatchamacallit? Oh, this is from J Bug. Hey, J Bug. That's right. COVID flipped everything upside down, and we haven't adjusted yet. This is true. The gaming industry is still growing, which is good, but it's like all these studios are in disarray. They have no idea what they're doing. But tinfoil hat on, I don't think they're that stupid. I don't think they're dumb enough to believe that we were going to stay inside for the rest of time. So I think that they use the firing of these devs to add to their bottom line. That's just me.
I kind of think so too, because if you think about it, the uppers, like the CEOs and stuff, they're gonna want their bonuses, they're gonna want their gifts, their packages, their perks, and their salaries.
And their stock options and all that good stuff.
The stockholders want their stuff, and they want everything else. So yeah, you're absolutely right, because that's unfortunately the greed of the industry.
Oh yeah, and as far as the stockholder thing, the big businesses are beholden to those guys. So if they don't have an arrow pointing up, they're having less money being invested in their company. So that really sucks, because if it's I'm not going to make, like with Sony projected to miss their mark by like just 5 million. I mean, it's not nothing, but 5 million units, and their stock dropped the way that it did. It's like, holy crap, dude. it's like,
yeah, it's insane how something like that will just mess up the stocks.
Yeah,
sorry, we got one of the other co-stars here.
Right on, look at him, cutie.
I mean, that's the same thing we're talking about, right? If they don't see sales on all these big games that came out, they're gonna assume that the console's not doing well. Being all these AAA games that came out last year and this year are part of the quarterly sales. So I mean, the Suicide Squad was probably not one of them, but I don't think Sony has released anything in the last quarter for games at all, other than DLC for God of War and them just talking about remakes. So of course they're just there. That's what of course CEOs see. It's like, you haven't sold anything in the last 3 months. So what are you gonna do? Do we have to cut? Do we have to make something new, or do we have to just keep going what they're going with? But it seems like Sony does that every year, is through like the beginning of the year, they don't really release anything, and then they ramp up closer to mid-year. If not by Christmas, you'll have something new to look forward to. And I want to say, I believe that the talk this year is the Pro should be coming out
towards the end of this year, I want to say. That's what I heard anyway.
And I believe that's what they're looking forward to. Is, I mean, it doesn't look good in number wise, but once the Pro comes out, hopefully no COVID-based illnesses come back out that is going to stop them from, releasing.
We better not get another plague. I can't do that.
Yeah, no, man.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
I mean, to this day, I think it's still kind of hard to find a PS5. I mean, you could go to Best Buy and there's still going to be like 1 or 2 compared to like having 6 or 7 Xboxes in stock. People are still going to go for what's available, right? If you can get an Xbox, you'll buy it. I know we were talking about this offline. Is we almost switched to go get an Xbox because that was what was available.
Yes,
but again, the mindset that Xbox had is, we're going to make different consoles for the people that can't afford it, right? You were talking about how economic times hit pretty hard, but at the same time, Xbox made 4 different consoles for 4 different, categories of the people that needed it, right?
That's right.
You got your Xbox S, X, and then they did the other versions of the Xbox eventually, but like, that's the way to do it, right? I mean, it's not the way to do it, because now they're talking about doing the exclusivity all around, but is it because they shot themselves in the foot because they made too many consoles and they didn't sell them all? Or is it because this is the only way to bring in more people to buy what they want?
Right on.
I think their goal is to try to bring more people and gear them towards Xbox. I'm almost certain that Xbox really thought, with all the problems that PS5 were having, that they would do better in sales. I really do. I mean, and just 3 of us here were thinking of switching. How many others were? Just because we wanted new games.
Yeah.
And so, PS5 isn't really doing bad, but they're trying to go too far, too high.
Yeah, I think this is they're back in their PS3 days, where they think that they could just do whatever and people would just buy, But I do agree that I don't know how many more people are going to buy PS5s, because I want to say they're at like 50 million PS5 sold, and PS4 is sold. It's sold like 117 million. The PS3 was like at 84 million, and the PS2 sold like 150 million. I don't know if they'll ever see numbers like that again. You know,
probably not.
Maybe PS3 numbers, but not, you know, PS4 and PS2 numbers. Well, I don't think
PS4 is where it started getting expensive for all of this. Like,
yeah,
I had to really wait to get one of those.
Yeah,
because of how much it costs.
Same.
And like I was telling you before, like, you know, there were extraordinary circumstances that allowed me to get my PS5. So I just kind of lucked out with money as far as that goes. But
yeah,
you know, also Panda was right. Like, we don't usually see anything like from PlayStation coming out until like the end of spring, beginning of summer, and then like their big stuff they always hit around the holidays because they are very smart about how to capitalize on holiday sales.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see more from them later.
We've got a handful of comments left to get through. I'm gonna power them real quick. The next mutation was the TV show with Venus. Yes, that is the other blue female turtle, Venus, the female sister turtle. I didn't know that she was the sister. Maybe I didn't watch very closely. It was produced by Saban that did Power Rangers. Hope that clears up the confusion. Oh, is it? Okay. Hit me up on Twitter, because I would love to know if that is in like the same universe, and that's why they're doing that crossover. Let me know, Lord Beerus. J-Bug says, with Xbox giving up on the console wars, they're positioning itself to be an automatic subscription for gamers to have, because Xbox Game Pass is gold for them. I made that point in the last live stream that we had. With them pushing so hard for Game Pass, they're setting themselves up as the Netflix for gaming whenever it gets there. We saw with Google Stadia, people aren't ready to just kind of make that change like 100%. They still like consoles and everything like that, and I think that's why Xbox has that hybrid kind of strategy going. So whenever that coin flips, or that switch flips, and people go to subscription services, there's Xbox standing right there, the catalog, the technology, and everything like that. So they'll be at the top, ready and waiting for people to come subscribe. J-Bug, it seems like they have been nothing but remakes. Oh, dude, yes. The Last of Us. That's about it. Lord Beerus, don't feel bad, geek. I'd rather buy the DVD of any movie I like and watch it from my home, and not have to deal with people in public places, and have any snacks from comfort of my home. I'm with you, geek. Yes, and have any snacks. Yeah.
Thank you, Lord Beerus. Yeah, I mean, it's just more comfy. Like, you know, you're not going to miss anything, because if you have to go to the bathroom or get a snack or something, you can pause whatever it is.
Yep.
It's also, I'm sorry, but those video rentals on demand, you get them for 24 hours. So you know, you can be like, dude, I just watched this movie, it was really good, come over and watch it with me to a buddy, and you know. So
when COVID came out and they were doing like dual releases, or just releasing new movies on streaming services, people really saw it's like, oh, it is awesome watching a newly released movie at home, where I can pause it and eat dinner and all the other stuff without having to go out and deal with other people sneezing on me, the sticky floors of the theater. Oh god.
Christmas Day, I was watching the new Wonder Woman.
Right on.
Like immediately, like I was like, open your presents, I've got something to do.
See, there you go. And so I think because people don't want to see people, you know, that industry, you know, the theaters, they don't want to see them go kaput. You know, they don't want to see them being rendered, what do you call it?
Obsolete.
Thank you.
We don't want them to go away like roller rinks.
Right. Oh gosh, I miss roller rinks so much. I grew up with those things, man. I got really good at skating. I could go backwards and everything, do turns.
Hey, there's still one in Nampa, man.
There is. I have yet to go there. I will though. But What were we even talking? Oh yeah. Okay, so theaters. I think theaters will go away, and the pandemic gave us a taste of being able to watch new releases at home. So I'm not necessarily against it, but like I said, I don't want to see those people lose their jobs.
Yeah.
And they are like
Kisses.
What?
Sorry, my son's bribing me for kisses. Yeah, so hang on. That's what you heard. I'm sorry.
Right. I thought it was Panda at first. Like, what did you say, man? Anyway, Lord Beer's minions equal talking Twinkies. That's funny. J-Bug, but regarding prices in gaming, I don't care how expensive GTA 6 will be, I'm buying it. Yes.
And that's what we were talking a couple weeks ago, right?
Exactly.
It's that loyal fan base that's gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. I mean, there is. I know that actually there is. There is no. If you're gonna be a loyal fan base, you're gonna buy it. I mean, I support games where I'll buy the collector's edition just because it looks cool and it's supporting the developer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I mean, really, like, you don't want to miss out on the fun of being like the first people in that game. So I do get it. Like, if you've got the money, go for it. I mean, I know my son better save up his allowance if he wants it right away.
So we'll go halvesies, okay?
Yeah, like I'm a gamer too. Gotta let me game too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, I like people are always saying like, oh yeah, wait up maybe a week or so because that's when the game gets better with all the updates. I'm like, no man, I want to be in there when I glitch to the floor and I'm laughing my ass off because they missed something.
Right on.
That happened to me with Assassin's Creed. Like they did an upgrade or an update and added something, and I'm like, minding my own business, just walking through, and suddenly I'm in the air.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's happening? And it took like 10 minutes for me to fall back to my desk.
Awesome.
Like, and there were times that my longboat would just be like, I'd be sailing down the river, and next thing you know, I'm like in a tree, just randomly.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. I'm like, yes, give it to me.
Right on. But J-Bug,
it's fun stuff.
GTA 6, that's like the exception, not the rule. You know what I mean? They have built a rapport with players and made a freaking fantastic game. So when their fans know that it's going to, and like Gamer said, I want to say last week or the week before, they're going to be able to play this game for the next 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they can
10 if GTA 5 is any indication.
Right. And so people feel comfortable paying that kind of price for a game that they are going to be able to, they're not going to put down for the next 5+ years, or 5 to 10 years, so GTA 6, that's an exception. A lot of these studios who are putting out games and wanting you to pay $70 for them, they're, hoping that you like it. Suicide Squad, they put that game out hoping that you would like it, and it bombed hardcore. So
it's back
they're not
to like
making their money back on that,
right?
Yeah.
Your expectations is you're making a game to fund you for the next couple years. You don't make a game just because you think it's gonna be. I mean, you have to make it because it's good, because you're guaranteed people to play it, right? If you make a game and nobody's playing it, well, you screwed yourself, right? You lose the money from the game you made and your future titles.
Yeah. And as far as that goes, the devs, I think they're the ones putting their heart and soul into it. These are the projects they want to work on, and whoever's giving the okay for them to go ahead and work, they're the ones in the mindset: is this going to make money? Is it not going to make money? So say the devs are the heart, the management are the brain, supposed to be anyway. But yeah.
I agree with that. The devs are definitely the heart.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And honestly, the actors that are doing all this motion capture and the voicing are really great. Like Hellblade 2.
Oh yeah.
The actress, like, I mean, she went and learned martial arts so that she could do more of the motion capture.
Right on. I did not know that. I know Hellblade is amazing. I love that game. I like it better than God of War. because they're in the
I
same kind of
love
Norse.
the game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm big on Viking and Norse
Yeah.
mythology, so I'm pretty much playing anything that has that. So.
Yeah, and I liked it better just because of I think it's a really good story, but it's a lot closer to the Norse mythology than God of War was, you know. But Lord Beerus, again, since you love crossovers, I bet you never heard of Batman crossing over with TMNT, huh? Yes, yes, of course. I bought the movie on YouTube, but I still haven't gotten through it because, you know, my kids, they're wild children. You know, it's a wonder that we can, you know, get their hair brushed and them to brush their teeth and all that good stuff because they rip and run all the time. My son's the only one that is not absolutely wild, that belongs in the woods somewhere, you know, eating berries off of bushes.
Oh yeah, and it's not until they all hit a certain age that you can start doing things like watching your own TV shows and your own movies and stuff. Like, yeah, so the struggle's real.
Lord Beers, we have a Gamer Geek Gato cameo.
That's right. Look.
Oh, Gato.
Here,
Gato.
Let's see. There he is. I couldn't get him with the camera frame.
Cuore, Gato. From Puss in Boots.
Yes.
Yeah. He's
Love
so epic. He's like, how dare you?
All right, J Boog. That's right, guys. Come to the dark side, the Xbox side. Yeah, he's a big Xbox guy. J Boog.
If it helps, we've got one in the house, so we're good. We got the one and the Series S.
Yes. Give me one quick. Never mind. It's retreating. I gotta sneeze, but it's saying I'll hit you up later. Okay. J Boog. Yes, Rockstar is GOAT. Red Dead Redemption 3 is next on my list. 100%. I can take or leave Grand Theft Auto, but Red Dead Redemption, that's my deal.
You know what's funny is I've never finished the second one just because it's so big of a game. You know what I mean? It's just it's a big game, right? Mm-hmm. You need time to play it, and I just can never sit down and really play it.
Right on. Yeah, dude. I bought it and didn't play it for a while, and then I put the series on YouTube, the live playthrough, finished it. Amazing, awesome game. And last one to Lord Beers. He says baby foxes. Yeah, they shoot, man. If they could live in a hole around all the dirt and the grubs, they would do it. My girls, especially. My son, he's like, 9 months, so he doesn't know any better. But my two girls, they're 5 and 3. Dude, whatever. They could go out into the wilderness and just live for the rest of their lives, dude.
It's surprising how rough and tumble girls really are. Like people don't think that, and then you're just like, oh no, like we came home and she was rolling in a mud pile. And people are like, no, not a girl. Yes, they're monsters.
It's like my mom.
They're definitely wild.
My mom would tell us stories of her growing up, and she would just always fight the boys until the boys got bigger than her. And then she got...
I still fought the boys even when they were bigger. Like, I was so bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then the last one from Lord Beerus, the sneeze hits me up later. Dude, that's a new thing. Yeah, it went back. It was like, I see you're busy. I'll just bother you later. Right. But yeah. That's the last one. That's the oh wow. Here, hold on. Let me do this. So that was the last chat. Thank you guys, J Boog, John DBZ, and Lord Beerus. Thank you so much for coming through. I think we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for always coming. I know this was such a kind of a screwy stream, but you guys came through, and I really appreciate it.
I had fun with it. I think Panda did too.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
I brought my ADHD with me today.
I was gonna say I don't mind the time. It's always fun talking about all this.
Yeah. Right on.
Thank you guys for coming and for chatting and, and helping us out with topics and discussions. It's always such a blast to do this every week.
It is freaking. But if you want to get a hold of Gamer Geek and Panda, we still do have their socials scrolling on the screen, so definitely show them some love. We appreciate everybody that's stopping by, that stopped
Absolutely.
by. All right, that's all we've got for you today. If you like the live stream, if you like the videos, go ahead and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. And please go show Gamer Geek and Panda some love. They're really smart, sharp. They know what they're talking about, and I'm sure they would appreciate it. I would appreciate it too. That's all we've got for today. You can take advantage of these various links on the side here. It really helps us out. But liking and subscribing is the best thing you do for the channel. But till the next live stream, keep it casual. Peace.